Welcome to Mr. K's Connected podcast. This podcast series will help you understand the precious metals industry, the background, the future thereof, as well as the factors controlling its fluctuation, empowering you to build long-term wealth. Before we dive in, remember you can find the accompanying blog to this episode on our website at www.mrk.co.za. Mr. K, pure and precious metals. Now, let's begin.
We all know that an investment in gold and silver should not be based on making a quick return. Usually, these metals provide portfolio diversification and a hedge against currency depreciation and, importantly, against inflation. Over the last few months, investors would have watched these metals largely tread water as the US Fed teased global markets with an expected announcement about the end of tapering while reviewing the latest inflation data. Gold, therefore, has become stuck somewhere in the middle of all of this while equity markets continue to roar ahead as corporate results maintain their upside path. Clearly, the post-COVID uncertainties in terms of the United States and global economy continue to push and pull investors in the precious metal markets. The gold price in particular has just not been able to sustain a breakthrough above $1,800 per ounce, leaving many investors to question whether the ceiling would be breached this year. While some analysts believe that gold will end the year lower, the continued fears of an extended period of inflation counter that argument. Some have sought refuge in Bitcoin, yet there is a distinct lack of historical data to suggest the coin offers a measurable hedge against inflation. Instead, Bitcoin acts more like an equity stock price and can therefore be highly volatile in the process, whereas gold's rising value tends to track inflation more closely. In the last week, all eyes were once again on the US Fed Chair Jerome Powell to get an indication on the issue of tapering, reducing bond purchases, interest rates, and inflation. Powell has been easing both the US and the world towards the beginnings of an end of tapering, and this was confirmed at the Federal Open Market Committee. But despite the view that inflation was still temporary and that interest rates were still likely to rise moderately in the new year, fears about inflation have continued. Prices have been rising in the US and all over the world. The oil price is well over $80 a barrel. In particular, there is both a shortage of workers in certain industries in the US and even in parts of Europe. Supply chain problems are also driving up prices, and critically, this also means upward pressure on wages. The recent figures from the US labor market showed that a relatively solid 531,000 new jobs were created, but given the pressures for higher wages, the fear of more sustained inflation is once again apparent. This is an environment in which gold prices should gain some traction. Although an interest rate rise is likely for 2022, it is some months away, and with debt across markets still in a post-COVID high, central banks are really trying to delay interest rate hikes where they can, in fear of negative effect on their growth potential. In the interim, these inflationary pressures are building. This provides a backdrop for better response from both gold and silver, as witnessed in recent days, with price movements northwards of $1,800. The jury is still out as to whether gold can breach the important $1,835 level. But its recent performance points to the metal continuing to be seen as an important store of value in uncertain times. While markets have been less supportive to these metals in recent months, the macro landscape as it stands may affect better precious metal pricings, and investors like yourself should take this opportunity, particularly in this state of global uncertainty, to maintain and add to your investment portfolio. And that's it from me. Pop us a mail at news@mrk.co.za. We look forward to hearing your questions and feedback on our podcast. Have a great week ahead. Cheers. Please consider sharing this episode with anyone you think might benefit from the information therein. For more information on our bullion products, visit our online store, where you can find the full range of Krugerrands and bullion bars on offer. We also buy gold, silver, and diamonds with an easy and transparent process. I look forward to connecting with you again soon. Until next time, have a golden day.